important is considering, appearance and dress when you're interviewing for a job and even when you're on the job?
Okay, it's very important. I mean, your first impression is sometimes, everything, and that's got to be your best impression. So you definitely want to be dressed appropriately, and, if you're not sure, you can always, call and ask or Google it and find out about wearing the proper attire, but you definitely want to be dressed, conservative and nice and neat. Don't go to, in there with your clothes all wrinkled and disheveled and your hair a mess. I mean, so, you really need like a style makeover and make sure that you look good.
Good.
Yeah, I agree with what Christie's saying. The old saying, you never get a second chance and a first impression is so important. And they say that 85% of a person's opinion of you is summed up in the first 7 seconds. So obviously a lot of it's visual, So I know when I'm interviewing people, which I interview a lot of people, I often, when they first walk in my office, how they're dressed, how they're carrying themselves, has a lot to say to me about how they care about whether the interview or whatever. I mean, let's face it, if someone comes to my office for an interview and they're underdressed and like you're saying, they're disheveled, their hair's a mess, how are they going to be in front of my clients? So I have to take that into consideration. If they're not at their best in front of me, how are they going to look in front of any application I may send them to? And one of the things that's always important for me is I often get people saying to me about my employees, boy, you have sharp employees, or boy, that Catherine looks really great, or that Allie's a really sharp gal, or whatever, because I think a lot of the impression of how they look and how they carry themselves, and that reflects directly on our companies.
Definitely.
Absolutely, and you need to consider, whoever your audience is, whether you're interviewing, whether you're, if you have clients, and the age of the clients, and the demographic, and different things like that as well. It's very important.
I want to point out too that overdressing too, and what I mean by that, like, if a young woman comes in and it looks like she just came out of a nightclub and she walks in for an interview with a job, that concerns me also. So you can go to both extremes. You can be underdressed, you can be overdressed. Neatness counts. I think it's very important, and whatever you are wearing, how you carry yourself is very important.
Absolutely, great.